North-South Connection YouTube stream. Here we go. Another one of these tier lists. And, maybe I'm not the right guy to do this. I was thinking about who should I do next? Should I do Stone Cold Steve Austin? Should I do Savage, who I love? I thought about doing Hogan, but JT nailed that. We got a bunch of cool stuff coming up with Shawn, and JT did Shawn as well. Brett's coming down the pipe, and Undertaker was done. So there was somebody left who has a ton of WrestleMania matches that we could break down into these tiers. Your friend and mine, Triple H. I've got a bit of a hate relationship with Triple H to it. We're just gonna, like I said, like with the ones in the past, all we're gonna do is tier the Mania matches. Hurt business. I'm not basing it just on match quality. All right, here we go. So let's break this down and see. He's got 27 matches, which I mean is a lot, right? So let's break him down. We'll kind of pick him out randomly as I go, and we'll take it from there. All right, so what are we dealing with first? Oh, this is a good one to start with. WrestleMania 33, Triple H versus Seth Rollins. Now, I guess this was to give Seth Rollins the rub a year after he was hottest. Again, this is one of those ones that just Seth comes down with the torch as though Triple H, as though Triple H is the. I'm already angry. As though Triple H is the torch bearer to Seth Rollins. They are nowhere near the same performer. Not even close. Who'd be the like Seth Rollins is much more in the style of a Shawn Michaels than a Triple H. Anyway, match is fine. I guess I'll go B tier. I'm already struggling. Why did I decide to do this? B tier for that. It's an overly long match. Again, he's got it in his head at this point that he needs to do these long matches to make these guys, but I don't think it necessarily makes them to go in there and have to go 30 minutes with an old man. All right, Triple H, Sting, WrestleMania 31. So Sting's first big match. I'm going C. I don't think it's an F. Now, I like the match. I think the match is fun, right? I think the match is pretty fun. I think Sting is good. I actually think Triple H is good in it too. However, Triple H had to win. Whatever. I guess because he was WWF and Sting was WCW, and we're still playing the invasion out, God, like 15 years after. But doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, right? Triple H had to win. Do we need Sting shaking his hand after getting smashed in the head with a sledgehammer? I don't know about you, but every time someone's hit me with a sledgehammer, I've never wanted to be friends with them right away after. Do we need the NWO saving Sting? NWO actively fought Sting for their entire thing. So nothing makes sense. We got DX. So it's funny because it's this weird package that watching it, I liked. It was okay until the end. And then when you start to think about it as a whole and the ego be so that Triple H had to win this match, like how does Sting not, you know what, whatever. It's a C. That's all. WrestleMania I'm already tired. WrestleMania 2000. A McMahon in every corner. I don't know if this is Triple H's fault. I'm going to put this on a C level also because I don't think the match is very good. I think they're just trying to get rid of Big Show, get rid of Mick Foley so they can get down to Triple H and Rock, which begs the question, why not do just Triple H and Rock? I think the match is actually quite bad. And considering that it's the main event of a show that's already not great, I consider putting it in the F. The reason I don't put it in the F is because I actually like the idea that Triple H wins here. A heel had never left WrestleMania with the title before, and it was different and new, and I didn't mind it. And at this point, Triple H isn't the fucking albatross he becomes later in the promotion. All right, what's this? I can't even see this. I can't even see what this is. They've edited the photo down. Oh, it drives me insane. Okay. All right. Okay. So this is WrestleMania 18. It's not quite clear what it is, but this is a Triple H against Chris Jericho for the unified undisputed championship at WrestleMania 18. This follows the legendary Hulk Hogan Rock match. It's going F. I think this match is wrong with Triple H in a nutshell. And my buddy Marcus and I often talk about how the plan is the plan. This is a clear indication of that. Number one, look, I've said this a million times. A lot of people don't agree. I don't care. 2002 was Rob Van Dam's year to win the Rumble and win the title. That was his year. No one was more over than him. But Triple H got hurt and he had to come back. And he comes back and he gets this massive reaction. And instead of the logical thing, which is, hey, Chris Jericho injured my quad with the the walls of Jericho on the table. I want revenge. That's the logical thing they can do. They don't do that. Instead, they bring a dog in. They run a dog over with a car. They bring Stephanie McMahon in and a fake wedding. Like you have the story built in. The story's there. He's hurt. He's now he's going for the title that he could have won last time, but he didn't. No, instead we get fucking running over dogs. And then the match goes on. It's the long ass fucking match. Triple H wins at the end of a night where the best stuff has already happened. F for, you know what? It's fine. All right. Triple H Batista, WrestleMania 21. I guess I'm just pulling from the middle here. See, I'm tempted F. The reason I'm tempted F is because it's not the match that was needed for this time. It's not a memorable main event in any way, shape, or form. Think back to some of the other crownings, right? Like when you think of the crownings at WrestleMania, you think of Bret Hart, you know, like, and you remember the match with Yokozuna. You remember how it wasn't great, but you remember what happened, right? Think about Shawn Michaels. You remember that match. At Austin, you remember that match. WrestleMania 17, you remember that match. You don't really remember the match of Triple H Batista. You remember that Batista was really hot. You remember the build, which was really good with him doing the thumbs up, thumbs down. But then we get to the match, and it's like a 20-minute match where Triple H takes most of it. Batista comes back and wins, and they do pop for him. It's Hollywood, whatever. But again, it's not. My argument with Batista has always been no one comes out of a feud with Triple H better. And this is a clear example of that. Like, I mean, people say Triple H made Batista, but you listen to his pops before he got in with Triple H and after, it's in significant decline, right? And it starts here. This match there's a great moment in the match, late in the match, where fucking Batista runs him into the corner and clotheslines him. And the way Triple H sells it so well. He sells it like death. And I can't help but think that should have been the whole match. It should have been him just fucking massacring him. All right, let's do WrestleMania 13 against Goldust. C. I'm not doing it on purpose. It's a C because, again, it's WrestleMania 13 is not looked at as a good card. And this is part of it. These guys fought at the Rumble. They've been fighting kind of throughout. And it's a rehash. And I don't know if it's the alignments. I don't know if maybe Goldust is a face. I mean, Goldust isn't actually a great face later. I don't know if he's there yet here, but there's just not enough interesting going on in the match. And again, it's over 10 minutes, so they give it time. The most memorable thing about this is China taking Terry and fucking shaking the shit out of her. That's the most memorable thing about the match. So it's going C. I don't think it added or took anything away from the card. It was literally replacement level. Whatever. WrestleMania 15, Kane, Triple H. C. Fuck it. I'm going to put Seth. No, Seth can stay in B. All right. WrestleMania 15, Kane, Triple H. We got nothing to do with Triple H. We got nothing to do with Kane, but we want Triple H to be a main eventer. It's a way to bring him and China back together. If I said right now, name me 3 spots from this match, could you do it? Besides the picture of him getting hit with a chair, could you do it? I can't. I cannot. I barely remember the silver pants. All right. Triple threat from WrestleMania 20. Chris Benoit, Shawn Michaels, Triple H. It's S. And I had this talk with Marcus the other day. I know I keep bringing up my buddy Marcus. It's because we have great conversations. And we were talking about, he was talking about how he doesn't have this match as 5 stars, and I do. And we kind of got into like my whole thing with this match is that I remember at the time watching it, and then subsequently before Chris Benoit, did what he did. When that happened, I remember thinking, wow, this is one of the best matches I've ever seen. And then subsequently with the moment, so that's where I came to the 5-star discussion. Now, if I were to rewatch it now, and I have rewatched it for stuff, like for when I was doing the year that was and stuff like that, when I have rewatched it, I obviously don't feel the same way about it, but it's almost not fair, right? And I'm not saying it's not fair to Chris Benoit. I think it's actually not fair to Triple H and Shawn Michaels. So it's like, it's hard for me to kind of look at that match and be like, well, now I don't enjoy it as much. So is it less than 5 stars? But it's got nothing to do with what's happening in the match, which is why that one is very much a leave it alone match. I don't think I could ever honestly rank it again. I just can't because of, everything that's happened since, right? So I'm going to leave it at my original ranking, and maybe it's wrong, but I'm preserving that memory. Not because I love Chris Benoit, because I wasn't the biggest Benoit guy. And that's not retrospect. I just never was. I liked him, but it's just not out of respect for Benoit or anything. It's really just like, do I want to ruin the memory of this match by trying to reconceptualize it with an entirely new set of circumstances? And I don't. So we're putting in an S, and I'm sorry if that bothers somebody. All right, this is WrestleMania 24. This is Orton defending against Triple H and John Cena. This is a kind of a forgotten little match. WrestleMania 24 is a great card. And you know what? I'm going to put this at an A tier, which maybe seems a bit high, but not only it was the triple threat. So for a bunch of these WrestleManias, there was the main title match. So WrestleMania 24, it was Edge and Undertaker. And then there was a triple threat underneath. It's similar at 25, which we'll get to. But the triple threat was always given less time. WrestleMania 22 is the same thing. Sorry, I keep rambling on. This is a triple threat, so it's given less time. So the guys end up making it a sprint, which I love. Like, I love guys throwing bombs. And at the time, too, I remember being shocked that Orton won. Like I thought that was a really cool wrench. I thought he deserved it, too, because he was interesting enough. Now, Triple H would win the next month, whatever. But I like the finish. I think that the picture we had finish where he runs and kicks him in the head and then pins him. So I like that too. I really enjoyed it all. And I love these sprints. So I'm going A. See, I could be fair. WrestleMania 25. Speaking of fair, F for fair. Look, you build a story. They always do this. They did this. It was the same. I heard a story with, you're talking to Chris Jericho about his match with CM Punk, right? Or it might have been CM Punk. I don't remember. When they have their WrestleMania 28 match. And they made this argument that like Punk needs to beat him in 10 seconds or go crazy on him because of the storyline that they wrote to get there. Then don't write those storylines if you're not willing to pay it off. And that's the exact example here. I mean, look, the buildup, Orton was suffering from some sort of debilitating mental condition, whatever. But like he DDT'd Stephanie, he beat up Vince, he kissed Stephanie, and then we're going to lock up and have a 25-minute match, and we're going to put in the stipulation that if Triple H gets disqualified, he loses the title because Triple H is the champion here. I don't. You gave this match so many impediments. If these guys come out and like, I agree. It was on a podcast recently where it might have been Tim when he was breaking down the Undertaker matches, where he argued that we didn't know at WrestleMania 25 that Michaels and Undertaker were going to go tear the house down, and we didn't. Like, I think the way they structured that card, in hindsight, sure, we could change it. But at the time, it made sense, especially with how hot this angle was. But they just go out and deliver a boring match. And why? Like, this Triple H match that he insists on Mania main events, it's the same in the Batista one, all right? And really similar to Chris Jericho one. It doesn't fit for the story they're telling at all. And it doesn't read the crowd. Anyway, this match is fucking terrible. Not because it's necessarily a terrible match. It's because it's so opposite to what the story is. And it's long at the end of a long show. So F for that. Yes, Conan the Barbarian. This is WrestleMania 22 against John Cena. Your mileage may vary on the Conan the Barbarian. I thought it was interesting. I'm going to go kind of top of the B group here. I like this match quite a bit. I like the Triple H taps to Cena, which puts him over. I think it's one of the few instances where he puts him over strong. The only caveat I have with that is the verbiage around the match where Cena can't wrestle and this and that, and Triple H leaning into that as the heel. I think it's counterproductive to helping build. It's like Triple H just can't let it go, right? Like, look, I think at this point, Triple H is a better technical wrestler than John Cena, right? But you're pushing John Cena. And the criticism that the people have of John Cena is that he's not good enough, right? How does it help you as a heel, which is your job to get booed, right? How does it help you as a heel to go out and lean into that, to make him look worse as a consequence? The guy you're trying to put the whole company on, why are you trying to make him look worse? Why does he have to go 50-50 with Triple H, right? Why do we lean into that storyline? I think it's counterproductive. I think the match itself is actually bordering on great. And the crowd reaction is a part of that, which Triple H, I guess, is responsible for. But that being said, it's just not helpful. So it's not a horrible match, but again, it's just not helpful. Ooh, okay. Triple H, Booker T. Well, there's one place for this. It's in the R. No, the F. WrestleMania 19 is my favorite WrestleMania. And this is the sore spot. And again, it's not that the match is bad, right? It's I think I might have the match at between 2.5 and 3 stars as a match, right? Probably closer to 2.5 because of the finish. But is that what you want from a title match at WrestleMania? Especially when I think at this WrestleMania, I know the main event is Brock and Kurt, but Triple H is the higher profile champion. So for this kind of match, with this kind of build, you want to at least be in the 3-star range. Now, the less said about the build, the better. When it's people like you don't deserve the title, they knew what they were doing. They're not going to say after the fact, they could say, no, that's not it or whatever, but they knew what they were doing. So, yeah, they were purposely angling this to be a race-based storyline, which I guess if you're going to do is fine, but then the guy's got to win or your whole promotion is racist. If you're going to make this whole storyline of you people can't do this, the end game has to be whoever the you people are, they have to overcome that. Otherwise, what are you doing? Saving it for Goldberg? They didn't lean into the you people with him, and he's part of a smaller ethnic group, right? If they had, if they had even tied it in to, hey, by you people, Triple H meant WCW guys. I'm Goldberg. I'm a WCW guy. That would have made sense, but that's not what they were doing. And look, I know that it's been exaggerated about the pedigree into the pin. Oh, he laid there for 5 minutes. It's not that, obviously, but it's 30 seconds. It's long enough that why can't he kick out of that? Anyway, F, Triple H, Booker T. Could have been great. Triple H, Sheamus. You remember this match? Remember this happening? I remember a lot from WrestleMania 26. I had to look up what his match was. I guess I'll go B. It's fine. I don't know why Triple H has to win, but it's fine. Does he win? Yeah, he wins, right? Yeah, for sure he wins. I looked it up earlier, but I'm double checking now just to make sure because I know Triple H loses. Yeah, he wins. That's right. And he loses the next one. So whatever. B, who cares? All right, who's this? Oh, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar from WrestleMania 29. God, watching this match, I remember watching it with my buddy, and we were sitting there, and we looked at each other at one point, and we were like, is he going to put himself over to tap out Brock Lesnar? When he has him in the arm lock on the stairs, he's going to fucking tap out Brock Lesnar. Remember when Brock came in super hot, fought John Cena, and it was the hottest person in the company, and then did 3 matches with Triple H, and then had to be rehabilitated? Imagine you have to rehabilitate Brock Lesnar. This match is long, it's boring, it's convoluted, and it's such an ego boost for Triple H. Why are we beating Brock at WrestleMania? Like, no one cared. They chanted, "You tapped out," when Brock broke his arm. The man had a broken arm, and the crowd was taunting him. It's F. It's ah. All right, let's do 30. WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan. It's S all the way. I talked about this in the WrestleMania openers. I think this is Triple H's best singles match of all time. It certainly is best with no bells and whistles. Like, I mean, you could probably make the argument that the match with Cactus Jack at the 2000 Rumble is better. I might disagree, but I don't know. I'd have to watch both back to back again. I have them both at 5 stars, but that had like weapons and tax and Mick Foley, right? This is just a straight match, and it's so good. And the stakes are so high for Bryan. And here Triple H, does the things that a heel should do, which is be a complete asshole and get booed, right? It's the opposite of the match against Cena. So I think he does really well in this match, and I don't fault him. And you know who else I think is excellent in this match is Stephanie. I think Stephanie is so good in this match as like a manager. The way she speaks, the way she yells, the things she yells, "You get him, baby." Like, it's so smarmy and designed to hate her. So I think they do a really good job there. But the action is great. Again, I think it's 18 minutes, so it doesn't overstay. It doesn't have to be 30 minutes. It's a great opener. The crowd goes crazy. I got nothing but positive things to say about WrestleMania 30 and Triple H's role in it. All right, WrestleMania 27. I'm so back and forth on this. I'm going to go at the top of the B's, and I have 2 thoughts on it. One, the first time I saw this match, I hated it. Like, hated it. Like, it killed the card. Not that the card was on life support anyway at this point, but like WrestleMania 27, but I hated it. But a lot of people liked it. And when I watched it again for the year that was, and I'm sure I'll watch it again for when I do Triple H the wrestler that was, I was like, you know what? It's really good. It's a really good match in terms of match structure. But the trouble I have with this match is the same trouble I have with the Orton match or with the Jericho match, is that what Triple H does in the match doesn't fit the story he's telling. So the story he's telling in the lead up to this match is, I have to put the Undertaker, I have to beat, and I have to put him down. I have to beat the Undertaker. I have to win. I have to end the streak. I have to do this because my friend couldn't. That was the storyline going into this. Then he spends most of the match not trying to win. He'll pedigree Undertaker. He'll beat the shit out of Undertaker. And instead of pinning him or trying to make him tap out or throw him out of the ring for a count out or anything that does him trying to win, he'll stand there and say, "Stay down, stay down." Which, like, okay, if that's the next year and you're trying to just end his career, fine. But that's not what this match is. This match is about ending the streak. So why are you saying stay down? Why are we wasting so much time with the stay down bits? This match is fucking long too for what it is, right? And the problem is that they go into the sequence of lying around like really quickly. So this match is almost 30 minutes long, right? And I would say within 7, they're laying around. That's long. That's too long to be doing that. And the constant stay downs when your whole thing is, I have to win the match, it makes no sense. And like, this is the things that I don't get Triple H as a human, right? I don't understand, because for me, it's either you're the most selfish performer of all time or you're a fucking moron, right? And I don't know. I'm going to lean selfish because I don't think he's stupid. But then the choices don't make any sense. Like in this one, it makes no sense. Stay down. You're not telling that story. Anyway, that's why it's B and not A. But I will admit that the work in the match is interesting. And I actually don't even mind the end where like Undertaker was more hurt than Triple H. I think that's interesting too. And they use that to springboard into the next year, right? let's just talk about the next year. Here's the picture, end of an era. I'm going to put this in the A. I'm going to put it in the A because I think Shawn Michaels' performances in it is really divisive. But I really like the structure of the match. I like how they come across in the match. I actually don't even mind Triple H in this match being like, Shawn, end it. I don't even mind that. I think at this point, after he's lost the match and proven himself unable to beat him, it's okay for him to be reaching for these other things to kind of make to put Undertaker away, because he knows he can't do it on his own, right? I do think, though, there's at least a couple things in this match that really elevate it. So number one, and there's way too many things at the top that I really didn't expect to be this many at the top. Don't worry, we'll get there. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So the things that elevate this match. So this match, I think it might be the best near fall of all time, where with the sweet chin music into the pedigree on the Undertaker. I think that's incredible. I think it's such a great, and it's in that moment where you're like, oh yeah, he's going to put himself over the Undertaker. And I know that's a weird thing to bring into a match, like, oh, the guy's going to put him over, which is strange, but it really led to my investment in the match at the time. Like, I remember at the time going crazy as to like what's happening and who's doing what, right? So I love that spot. And the spot where Triple H goes for the sledgehammer and Undertaker steps on it, and then Triple H looks up at him and Undertaker looks down on him, like knowing he's got him. Oh, so fucking good. It's so good. That is such a perfect moment. And that's the perfect encapsulation of the Triple H character. And it's what should happen in more matches, right? Like, that's how the heel, I guess he just respected the Undertaker enough and I bet he knew, this is where he's smart. He knew that putting over the Undertaker is not going to change anything for him, because Undertaker's a way higher status character in wrestling than Triple H is. So that's fine, right? But so he showed ass for him. But in that moment, it was perfect because you knew Triple H was fucked. And then he was fucked. So that's why it's there. At the end of the era, I don't know what era, like all of them, except for Shawn, they all wrestled together 6 years later. Just put Kane in there. Anyway, all right, so that's an A tier. Let's do the trilogy. This is Triple H Undertaker from WrestleMania 17. I'm gonna go in the B tier for this one. Okay, that was me shushing the child. I'm gonna go in the B tier, lower end B tier. I think this is good. I think it's a bit overblown for what it is, but again, you can see in the picture, although it's not clear, Triple H is showing ass for the Undertaker, and that makes a big difference. I guess he just respects him that much. I don't like the throw off the tower for me. That's not my favorite, but it's fine. It's good. It is what it is. Triple H Owen Hart from 14. Low C's. Owen Hart comes back in December of 97 after Bret Hart gets screwed. He's one of the hottest characters. They do nothing with him. He goes to Mania. He gets beat. Did Triple H need this win? We can't have one nice thing for Owen Hart. The match, again, it's fine. But again, so many, look at the matches in the C's, right? The main, take the Sting one out. But the WrestleMania main event, the Batista one, the Goldust one, the Kane one, and now this one. This is the C's, right? Do you remember anything about these matches? I don't. I have to look up why. I have to look up how Owen lost, right? And I'm not perfect, but I can still tell you all the WWF champions ever, all the Intercontinental, like, you know what I mean? So when this happens, and I can't remember it, it's maybe I'm getting old. That's true too. But they just are not interesting. And why can't Triple H comes out the next night on Raw and reframes DX. Even if he'd lost, that would have been fine. He didn't need to in this match. Anyway, that's why it's a C. Oh, Christ. Oh, here we go. WrestleMania 32. Triple H against Roman Reigns. Favorite WrestleMania main eventers. So JT and Marcus broke this down nicely on War recently, talking about how the match is good in a vacuum. And I can't really disagree that the match is fine in a vacuum. But life isn't in a vacuum, sadly, for this list. So while they may be correct, for me, it's 30 minutes. Again, it just does Roman no favors. Why are we doing this to Roman Reigns? Why are we making him go 30 against the least giving wrestler ever? That's how you put Roman over here. And they were right, JT and Marcus, when they talked about just smashing him and squashing him. That's what should have happened here. But Triple H can't allow that. So that, my friends, is also an F. And if we look at the F tier quickly, that's a lot of main events in an F. It's all main event level matches, right? So, like, when I look at this, look, 18, main event, terrible. 25, main event, terrible. 32, main event, terrible. 29, semi-main event, terrible. 19's got a lot on it, but the world title with a super over babyface, terrible. Anyway, that's where it's going. Let's do 34. That's Triple H and Stephanie against Ronda and Kurt. So I think this is like the tippity top of the A's. It's really good. Triple H is good in it, and he sells for Ronda, and he makes Ronda. Why does he sell for Ronda, like, and sells fear of Ronda more than he does for Chris Jericho or Batista or Roman Reigns, right? Why for her is he able to take punches and look weak? Is it because he realizes his wife will not leave him for Ronda Rousey? I don't know. I don't want to get into his psyche. But seriously, when you wrap up your entire professional life and professional career around a marriage instead of merit, not that he wasn't deserving, because I think there was a period where he was good. But when you put so much of that into of your professional existence into a marriage, you're going to do everything to keep that marriage. Otherwise, everything falls apart. And part of that except against Ronda Rousey. But this is a great debut for Rousey. Kurt Angle's great. I would say Triple H is great. And I'd even say Stephanie's really good too. She's not a wrestler, but I think she does a really good job. So for how amazing it was, considering what it could have been, for how well it set up Ronda Rousey, for a nice display for Kurt Angle, I wish this was his retirement match. I think this is an A. 2 left. Okay. Triple H Batista from WrestleMania 35. Maybe the most overindulgent match that Triple H has at WrestleMania. And imagine what that means. Imagine what that means. It's an F. It's so long. They do the stupid Mad Max entrance 4 years after it was a thing, which admittedly is short for them. I mean, he did Conan the Barbarian in 2006, and that movie came out in 1982. So that was fine. Batista and him try, but they just, it's so much lying around. And it's like, why can't it just be these two guys who hate each other throwing bombs? I don't get it. So Triple H and Batista is an F. I was there live. It was long live. It was long on rewatch. We had to use tools for some reason. Triple H has to, and the whole thing, it's like, why does Batista want to fight Triple H? Why does he want to come back and fight him? Like, if it was the other way around, I would understand the story. Because it starts with them on, like, the anniversary of SmackDown, Evolution, who was never on SmackDown. But anyway. And out of nowhere, Batista's like, well, you never beat me. It's like, okay, but it's not like that. They never fought. That's the kind of thing that, like, when Goldberg comes out and confronts The Rock and is like, you never beat me, that's fair because they never fought at least 3 times on pay-per-view in 2005 alone. And Triple H lost all of them. So why would Batista come out and basically challenge him? Why would Batista need to fight Triple H? It should be the other way around. You could do everything the other way around. Why does Batista need to be the heel in his final match? In his retirement match? Why does Triple H need to finally beat him? Does he need to get the win back? Okay, I'm glad this is almost over, and I hope it's been entertaining. Triple H, his first first WrestleMania match, Triple H against the Ultimate Warrior. And look, this is as S can be. Look, the biggest pop of Triple H's career to that point, but when his music comes out, because they know what's about to happen. Ultimate Warrior comes out and just fucking runs through him. He pins him with both fucking knees on his chest, his arms in the air, and they never brought him back to lose to Triple H. He is the most dominant person that Triple H was ever in the ring with. He dominated Triple H, and it fucking felt good. So there's my tier list. 3 S's, 6 F's, a bunch in the middle, a couple higher than I thought it would be. So I think I've been fair for the most part. Triple H, what do you think? Am I off base? Am I on base? Is he good for the business? Bad for the business? Is he a victim of his own marriage, where he put so much importance in, and then as a consequence was never allowed to be vulnerable? Hey, big questions, maybe for another time. Please, if you like this content, subscribe, pedigree that like button, whatever you want to do. But thanks for the continued support. We'll be back with some more tier lists, some more stuff. Please check out everything on the North South Podcast Connection. And yeah, fuck Triple H.